can't quit you, baby, but I gotta put you down for a while. Yeah, I can't quit you, baby, but I gotta put you down for a while. I said, you made a mess of my happy home, baby. You made me mistreat my only child. You know I love you, baby. My love for you, I can never hide. I love you, baby. My love for you, I can never hide. I said, you know I love you, baby. You're my one heart's desire. You, baby, but I gotta put you down for a while. Yeah, I can't quit you, baby, but I gotta put you down for a while.
are burning, so your man will know the score. One more mile, only got me one more mile ago. It's been a hard day's journey. Don't have to cry about you no more. This woman that I'm loving, she only lived in this one state. One more mile, I only got me one more mile to go. It's been a hard day's journey. I don't have to cry about you no more. To cry about you no more.
Took me by surprise when you told me the news. It was only then when I realized days come and go, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. At the end of the day, together with you, I see a blue sunrise. Blue sunrise. Little boy blue came into my life, changed everything, but that's alright. Days come and go, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. At the end of the day, together with you, I see a blue sunrise. Blue sunrise. winds of change, rolling thunder, and when it ends, I see a blue sunrise. Blue sunrise. Every now and then I think what might have been. Put a smile on you, I have everything. Days come and go, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. At the end of the day, together with you, I see a blue sunrise. Blue sunrise. I see a blue sunrise. Blue sunrise.
Showcase for the first time this year. Many thanks to the owners of Berkshire Antiques in Lanesboro for affording us this amazing backdrop. Our big news is that we released our 10th album today, None More Blue. But right now, here's an original, No More to Give, from our 2020 album, Weed 'em and Reap.
My heart, take my soul, take my mind, leave me less than whole. Take my kindness, squeeze it dry. Take my strength till you make me cry. Oh, baby, I ain't got no more to give. You keep on taking from me. Why am I supposed to live? Take my patience, take my time, take my song, stealing all my rhyme. Take my thunder, hush my roar. Take my will till you shake my door. Oh, baby, I ain't got no more to give. You keep on taking from me. How am I supposed to live? cup, take my bowl, take my last jelly roll, take my whiskey, bleed my still, take my bounty out till I can't fulfill. Oh, baby, I ain't got no more to give. You keep on taking from me. How am I supposed to live? You keep on taking from me. How am I supposed to live? You keep on taking from me. How am I supposed to live?
Crossroads boogie, crossroads boogie, do the crossroads boogie all night long. Crossroads boogie, crossroads boogie, do the crossroads boogie all night long. Crossroads boogie, crossroads boogie, do the crossroads boogie all night long. Crossroads boogie, crossroads boogie, do the crossroads boogie all night long. All night long, all night long, all night long, all night long.
blues, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. When you see me work, because you are head to lose. Oh, nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. No, I said now, nobody loves me. No, ain't nobody seems to care. Talk about worries and problems. Oh, you know I had my share. Come on, baby, let's say it. Nobody seems to care. No, no. Nobody love me, no. Ain't nobody seems to care. Talk about worries and problems. Oh, you know I had my share. Come on, Francesco. Hit it. Every day,
Oh dear. Hello?
Hello?
Oh,
Okay. Cat,
yeah.
she's not listening. Cat? Okay. 1 second, Pete, Todd, 1 second. I'll get hold of Cat.
Has the sound vanished?
How's that? Hello? I can hear you drinking. I can't hear anything else.
Blimey.
1, 2. No. I can hear that.
Okay.
I can't hear Cat. Ground control to Major Tom.
You've switched over. Now you can hear me, can't you?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know. It.
There we go.
Look. Hey guys, nobody can hear me. I'm gonna say what I had to say again. Pete and Todd, you stay right there. What happened was we had a technical hitch. It just switched itself back on a different microphone, but now we're on the right microphone and we're good to go. So what I was saying, let me repeat myself. Hello guys, stay right there. Let me repeat myself. Tonight is a tribute show to our blues brother, Jimmy C. Some friends, family have come on to say hello and celebrate the life of our blues brother, Jimmy C. So while we're going to have a few people in the green room, we got quite a few people in the green room. I'm waving to you guys. I can see you and you can see me and hear me. I'll bring y'all in the green room in a minute. But first of all, we got two people that are going to step up. They were already there in the green room, and that's Pete Finstra and Todd Sharpville. What's happening, guys?
Hello.
Hello, Pete. Hello, Todd. How you doing?
Hi there, how's it going?
Yeah, good.
That sounded really good. I don't know why my microphone switched over, but it switched itself. I never touched that damn thing, but don't matter because it's going live.
Gremlins.
So listen, thank you so much for coming on and being patient. What a great pre-show that we had as well, wasn't it? And that's from Patsy, our producer.
Oh, good job.
Yeah. So you guys can hear me okay? So Pete, let me start with you. You've worked with Jimmy C. In what capacity?
Promoter, basically. What happened was, I'll tell you how I met him. It was quite funny. I was running a magazine years ago, and one of the correspondents we used to have was a Japanese guy who's shockingly, I can't remember his name or I can't pronounce it, but he was a great guy. And he was telling me about High Tide Harris, who I was a fan of, this guy from the West Coast, this old blues guy. He wasn't that old at the time, but he probably is now. And he kept telling me about High Tide Harris playing Tokyo. And he said, and of course, he's playing with Mr. Jimmy. And he kept telling me about this Mr. Jimmy. And I said, well, who's Mr. Jimmy? When he's, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, because of that connection, Jimmy, sometime after that, I can't honestly remember how long, came over to London. I think he phoned me up once and he said he's doing a jam somewhere near Finsbury Park, one of those pubs that used to be in Finsbury Park. At that juncture, I was living in Ealing in West London, which is a long way away if you don't drive. And I thought, I've got to go all the way up there. Anyway, I did. I got there. Miraculously, I got there reasonably early, about 8:45, which is quite early for a gig. And the place was already jumping. It was already jumping, the whole thing. Anyway, that's the first time I met Jimmy. I hadn't even spoken to him. He was just busy playing. And it's that image of him as being a kind of blues entertainer that sticks with me. Never forget that blues should entertain, and that's what he did. That's my take on Jimmy C.
The blues is definitely, we should entertain, and blues is not always a thing that's downtrodden and sad, is it? Blues is fun, and Jimmy definitely did that, didn't he? Gave it an uplift, didn't he?
Yeah, he kind of got the concept of a blues party, and Todd will know this. Otis Graham used to do the same, but in a different way. He used to mug you, really, but Jimmy used to charm you. He used to get everybody in the room on his side.
Yeah,
and actually, that was one of the things that I think held him back, because he was, unlike most blues guys I know, he had no ego at all. And you literally had to, as a promoter, I literally had to push him. I said, look, what have you done in your life? And he told me all about Japan. He told me about the West Coast, everything. And I said, look, and he had songs which he wouldn't play. He says, people only want to hear B.B. King, T-Bone Walker, which of course they did. But he was just such an understated guy, really, right to the day he died, sadly.
Well, speaking of songs, Todd, you've sung some of Jimmy C's songs, haven't you? Have you written anything with him as well?
Not written with him, but yeah, no, I've sung songs with him live, and I have an alter ego who plays the bass.
Oh, I see. You're a fine guitarist and also a bass player as well. I didn't know that.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a bass player, but in order to, I wanted to discover the bass properly, and in order to not sound like a guitarist trying to play the bass, which is always the first mistake of any bass player who plays guitar, I created a character in my head and gave him a name, K.Y. Jones.
K.Y. Jones.
Who has his own background and his own history and his own influences, and he's an outright bassist who can't stand guitar players. And as long as I method acted K.Y. Jones whilst playing the bass, I'd sound like a bass player. And if someone spoke to me and pulled me out of character and said, "Hi, Todd," I start sounding like a guitarist trying to play the bass again, which is all wrong. So Jimmy very sweetly would hire K.Y. Jones occasionally to play bass for him. And we had a lot of good times together.
Yes, definitely. One of the bass players that he did work with the Blues Dragons is Paul Soper. Hello, Paul.
Hi there. Not too bad.
Yeah, like I said, we haven't done a sound check. No one heard that bit, but we haven't done a sound check. But we're good to go either way. How's it going, Paul?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Hopefully everybody can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you good. Without a sound check, it sounded really good. I'm the only one nobody couldn't hear, so we're good.
No, it's all right now.
It's all working.
Yeah,
it's technology. It's a wonderful thing.
How long have you worked with? Yeah, exactly. How long have you worked with? Did you work with Jimmy C?
I first met Jimmy, I suppose, about 97, 98, when he was over here jamming, and he'd appear at jams. And people wouldn't really take him seriously because he smiled and he engaged with the audience. But I thought, hey, this is really cool. So in 2001, Jimmy said to me, I've got a gig in Camden Town. Can you play bass? I said, yeah, okay, yeah, it's not a problem. He said, do you know a drummer? I said, well, yeah, there's a mate of mine called Stevie Bray, and he plays drums. So all of a sudden, there we were, Saturday afternoon in Camden Town, doing a gig. We didn't have any PA, so we were using an old Marshall amplifier that Stevie had, and that was set up as being the PA. A week or so later, we'd done another gig, and Jimmy said, rather.
His alter ego.
It's that KY Jones, that's what's doing it.
That's it.
KY Jelly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jimmy said, I found this saxophonist called Antonio, Mr. A. And so he joined us as well. And Jimmy said initially, we might do, he said, 1 or 2 gigs a month. Well, in the first year, we did 100. And very shortly after we started gigging, Jimmy said, I've decided the band has to have a name. Okay, fine. We're going to be the Blues Dragons. And Antonio and I and Stevie looked at each other and thought, the Blues Dragons? But that was it. So basically, I was there right at the very beginning when the Blues Dragons were first created. When it became 100 gigs a year, that was the point at which I had a daytime job. I couldn't handle 100 gigs a year. So we had to start finding other bass players, KY obviously, although he came a little bit later on. Stevie also having a daytime job, he couldn't do every gig as well, so more and more drummers came in. And over the years, I think that's one of the aspects of the Blues Dragons that's kept it interesting. Yeah, because every time you play with the Blues Dragons, it might be a different drummer. Sometimes, more recently, it might even be a different saxophonist. But every time, because there's a different mix of people, it put a different element into the show. And Jimmy responded to that because, you know, he was there in the middle. He was controlling it. You know, there was never any set list. We had to listen. And that's one of the keys, I think, about playing with other people is listening. Yeah. You know, as long as you're listening to other people, you're listening to what you're doing, you can bring it together on stage.
That's true blues style.
But that was very much Jimmy. Jimmy was very fresh. Every time you heard him, you'd hear probably something slightly different because maybe it was a different lineup at that time. But yeah, so it would have been 20 years this month. You know, had Jimmy survived, this month would have been the 20th anniversary of the creation of the Blue Dragons. So,
well, we celebrate that. Cheers. Everyone, raise your glasses to
Yeah,
that
amen.
notion. Definitely. Amen to that. Definitely.
So what about rehearsals?
What about rehearsals?
What's that word? Rehearsal?
It's always fresh.
In 20 years, the Blues Dragons never rehearsed.
You should have a T-shirt with that written on it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I do say this. There was almost a rehearsal once, and this was back in 2003 when we were recording the first CD, and we thought we ought to go into a studio and play it through. So we went into a studio and we played it through, just like we did live. I said, well, yeah, that's okay, that works. So that was the nearest we ever came to rehearsing. But it was fresh. It was always fresh. It was always different. Jimmy would always sort of go off, you know, some numbers he'd play exactly the same as he did the last time. You know, next time you played it with him, he'd have a completely different solo, which he'd improvise on the spot. And it was always fresh. It was always great.
And what about when you recorded then?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. We recorded.
Count you in and off you go.
1, 2, 3, here we go. Yeah.
Well,
or 1, 2, you know what to do. Yeah.
Well, you know, let's talk about music. Let's listen to. Hey, Todd, are you up for playing one of those songs that Jimmy C wrote? And also he recorded it as well, I believe. Would you mind getting your guitar and doing that for
Sure,
us? We
sure.
can solo you out and play that song, and then we'll have a little look at some other footage in just a bit.
Sure. There's I mean, sadly, a song that Jimmy wrote after he had his diagnosis, which is his charming wife Aga asked me to play tonight, which very much speaks of what he was going through at the time. And it's kind of it's a song. It's a blues song of acceptance, I would say. Okay. And it's kind of a deep tune, and I'm planning on actually doing a band recording of it at some point.
Fantastic.
With my band as a gift to Aga. But this is called "Everybody Gets the Blues."
Let's have a listen.
I'm gonna take my earphones out while I do this.
Okay. Yeah. Be careful with the microphone, not too loud against the sound there.
Well, everybody gets the blues sometimes. And everybody feels blue sometimes. If I could turn back the clock, I don't know where I'd stop. And everybody gets the blues sometimes. And I won't cry anymore. All my tears are dry. And I won't cry anymore to an empty sky. I close my eyes. Memory is my best friend. And everybody gets the blues sometimes. What? Everybody gets the blues sometimes. What? Everybody feels blue sometimes. My heart and my soul, you know I just hand, let it go. I'm saying that everybody gets blues sometimes, and I won't cry anymore. All my ears are dry, and I won't cry anymore. To an empty sky. If I could turn back the clock, Lord knows that I don't know where I'd stop. Yeah. Everybody gets the blues. Everybody gets the blues. Everybody gets the blues. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Let me be the first to say that's a beautiful song and a beautiful rendition of singing that song, Todd. You can feel that, and everybody got the good blues, that's for sure. What you reckon?
Sure.
That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, for sure.
Listen, let's keep
He
going.
saved
Let's
it.
keep going.
He saved the best till last, didn't he? You know, his
Oh
last,
yeah.
his
Oh
last
yeah.
two singles were excellent.
But
Thank
it's
you.
the, you know, it's the, I mean, it's so sad to see tragedy bring out such emotive music in Jimmy. But lyrically speaking, I mean, he really said it as it was, and as he was facing it and accepting it, and as things were breaking down for him. And it's so sad to hear, and yet it's such beautiful music, you know.
And beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, we all, when we get emotion as artists, when we get emotionally affected by it's either illness or a love breakup. I mean, some of the best stuff come out because we do live on that. We live in our emotions. We deliver our emotions because we are performers, and that's when it comes out, you know. And we all appreciate what he's left us as well. So that's so cool. Let's keep going. Let's have a chat with. Let's see. Let me, Dano. You were here in the green room for a little bit of time. So, Dano, let me bring you out of the green room. Everyone, welcome Dano out of the green room.
Oh, hi, Dano.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to check. Yeah, you wanted to check your mic before, so just check your mic, Dano. Because
Hear me.
Yeah, we hear
Yep.
you now. You had some questions.
That's
Go ahead,
fine.
man.
Excellent. Okay. I arrived in North London about 2012, coming from Cork and Glasgow in various. And when I first met Jimmy, my memories go back to the Railway Tavern in particular, where he played every Sunday night. We played every Tuesday night, Thursday night, I think it was. So on a Sunday, I would go along to the railway with my harmonica in my pocket, and hopefully he'd get me up, and he did quite often. Yeah.
yeah.
So I was. I tell you what, talking about winging it, I was winging it too with him.
You know, we're talking about also getting people up. Just let me just step back 1 second there, Todd. There is a tribute concert happening, and Aga was telling me earlier that who wants to come along will be able to get up and play a couple of songs on that tribute concert. When is that, and what are you organizing quickly with that? Before we will repeat this, but let me get that in quickly.
Well, I mean, sadly, because of the COVID restrictions, the funeral, we were presented with a situation where no one in the congregation was allowed to sing, and being at a Catholic mass, the priest very much wanted traditional hymns and things at the funeral. So it's really an opportunity for Jimmy's band and all of Jimmy's friends and acquaintances to get together and celebrate his music and help raise money for a memorial bench. And to explore his songs.
When is that being planned for?
For August, I believe.
August 14th, I think it is. Is it something like that? Yeah.
That's right.
August 14th is what my notes have here. And so, Dano, we want to bring you in on that as well. So remember, August 14th, and that's at St. Mary's Tower. Mary's Tower.
I'm just making a note of it.
Good.
August 14th, I wrote it
That's
down
what we
somewhere.
like.
St. Mary's
What you
Tower,
gotta
that's
do,
in
though-
Crouch. Yeah,
Yeah.
N8.
Yeah, what you got?
But,
What you got to do though, Dano, is learn a Jimmy song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I was just about to say, Jim.
will be performing either Jimmy songs or cover versions of stuff that we played as Blues Dragons.
Well, yes.
So we might sneak a couple of those in as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the connection for me is with Rory Gallagher. I was in Cork when Rory Gallagher was a young kid cutting his teeth. And Jimmy does a great version of Messing with the Blues. Messing with the Kid. Yeah, so put that on the set list.
okay, I tell you what, Patsy, why don't we play that as well? We've got the Blues Dragons. We'll get that address and where you can find out more about that tribute show in August. We'll go back to that.
Mr.
Patsy,
Peter
why don't we have
to
a listen
Mr. Rory
Messing
Gallagher.
with the Kids on the videos.
Oh, we gotta give him one more. Give it up for the bass man, he working hard. Messing with the kid. Messing with the kid. Messing with the kid. You call it what you want. Don't messing with the kid.
Now you're talking.
Oh my! A little quickie before we take a little short break and bring guests up. We're Jimmy C and the Blues Dragons. Thanks for sharing this afternoon with us. We got a lot more, so stick around.
Yes. Wow. Paul, when was
Yeah.
that? And why was that concert, and when was that concert?
Well, that concert was August.
Well, we lost you, Paul. Go ahead. You've lost your mic there. Try again. Some button just went. You know what technology's like. So it's not really a jam session, the show, but it will be a lot of songs, Jimmy C songs, and the Blues Dragons playing. But go on to the website later on, the bluesdragonswebsite.com, and you'll be able to find out more about it and what the situation is on August 14th. Go ahead, Paul. Lost you there. No problem at all. Matter of fact, we'll get back to you, Paul. Test your mic. No, can't hear you, Paul.
You're very muffled, Paul.
Very muffled, Paul. That's the word. Muffled, not muted. Well, I was looking for Kevin. Let's get Kevin.
He's
in.
gone now.
Yeah, he is gone. Actually, I was just about to get him in there, but never. Oh, there you are, Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Let's get Kevin in to come on in. Hello, Kevin. While we get Paul's microphone sorted. Kevin, you need to put your camera down so we can see all of your beautiful face. What's happening, man? How you doing, Kevin?
I'm fine, actually. Unusually, I'm not a musician or a producer or anyone who organises gigs. I'm just an ordinary fan. And I've seen Jimmy many times over the years in various blues circuits. And, well, particularly at the Broadstairs Blues Bash, where he was very popular. I mean, if you wanted to go to gig where everyone was going to have fun, that was the one to go to. And much to my surprise, I was talking to my son about Jimmy C because I had Jimmy C come and play at my birthday party, which was one hell of a night. And he was saying that one of his friends, now my son's 34 now, and this would have been 5 years ago, and this actually was going back further than that. One of his young friends said that Jimmy C was his go-to band in London. That was the one he'd go and see above everyone else.
I see.
And I thought, blimey, what a reach, you know. And I always remember one little thing about Jimmy C, and it always came at the end of the show, and that was when he stood there and he went, one more. Well, 6 or 7 songs later, you were still there, and the place was just jumping. And it was like he literally had to be peeled off the stage, you know. But the other nice thing about him was that whenever you met him, when he wasn't actually on the stage, like maybe in Broadstairs, ambling around in the daytime, you know, wandering from one place to the other, maybe earlier in the day going to watch other bands, he was always so genuine and such a pleasant person to talk to. And apart from the music, his family was absolutely right up there, and he couldn't stop talking about them. And it was just, I used to find it absolutely quite refreshing to meet a guy who was so good on stage and yet so humble and took joy in the normal running of life. But as a performer, and that's what he was a great guitarist, but a brilliant performer. I think he had very few equals, to be honest. I mean, I know people have seen him Ain't Nothing But, and they one hell of a night. And I've seen him at various gigs in Kent and the South East. But the night at my party, everyone at that party, and a lot of them were not avid blues followers, shall we say?
Absolutely.
They were won over. They were bowled over. They couldn't believe how good it was, and you know, it's just so sad. So sad.
Well, we're here to celebrate, and you know, this is life's journey. And we're here just to uplift the man's name and say hello, and we'll see our blues brother, like we say, up there on that other stage. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely. So listen, we're talking about blues brothers. I want to bring in an old friend of Jimmy C's from I guess back from Canada, really, isn't it? Steve, when did you meet?
How are you?
Steve Braithwaite, hello, sir. When did you meet Jimmy? How long ago was that?
Jimmy? Yeah, we were about 10 years old.
10?
So go ahead.
Turn your mic up just a little bit.
Okay.
There you go. That's it. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Am
you
I
were
here
10
with you
years old
guys?
when you met.
Kind of?
Yep, we can hear.
I am in London,
Yeah.
and I'm not in Vancouver now.
Okay. You're in London now.
Okay. A bit.
Go ahead. Let's get you on. I'm going to pull somebody out of the studio so I can bring you in. Go,
Yeah,
keep,
great.
Keep talking there.
Yeah,
Steve.
I met Jimmy. I met Jimmy in Vancouver, of course. When we were young kids, about 10 years old, 12 years old. So we go back a long time. We had our first band when we were 12 years old. So we started our music career at 12. It was a band called White Fox. And from there we moved over, got some other friends involved, and became Thor, which probably, I don't know if you've seen any of those old tapes and old pictures. Yeah, those were great days. And we continued to play, indeed. And we played all through our groups together. And then each of us moved on and took on different projects. And then I came over in 87 to pursue music. And Jimmy came over, I think it was in 97, where we had our first band here called Lazy Hopefuls.
Okay, Steve, can I just interrupt? Are you closer to your router? Can we get you a little better signal than that? Have you got another room you can move to that you're closer to the router? Because you're lagging just a little bit.
Let me see. I'm gonna have a little.
We want to hear that story. In the meantime, Patsy, why don't you pull up another video for us to have a look at?
Yeah, let me
and then
move.
we'll get back to see if we can get Steve a little bit closer to that router. Because we
I'll
want to
move
hear what you got to say. Great story.
Is that better?
Hang on there, Steve. Hang on one second, Steve. We'll get back to you. This is a video from Russia, I believe it was, when he played in Russia. Let's have a look at that one first of all. Jimmy C, yep, that's in Russia. And we were looking to get Boris on, but we've not yet been able to contact Boris back, get him back on yet. But we'll see if he gets on before the show is over.
Hey Joe, I saw you going there, gun in your hand. Hey Joe, I saw you going there, gun in your hand. I'm gonna shoot my old lady. You know I caught her messing around with another man. I'm gonna shoot my old lady. You know I caught her messing around with another man. Hey Joe, I heard you shot your woman down, shot her to the ground. Hey Joe, I heard you shot your woman down, shot her to the ground. Yes, I did, I shot her. You know I caught her messing around town. Yes, I did, I south, way down now, Mexico way. I'm going way down south, way down where I can be free, yeah.
Yes. That was Jimmy's first Russian tour. That was in Siberia, Moscow, and St. Petersburg. Do you remember that one, Steve?
Fantastic, wasn't it? It
Yeah.
made something so original, huh?
Oh, God,
Yeah,
yes.
very special. That's better. You can hear me now.
Yeah,
I'm on
it's
the
still, a little,
screen.
it's still a little bit interrupted, but that's okay.
Okay,
Paul, were
okay.
you on that tour, Paul? You didn't go? Okay.
No, I wasn't there either, but I
Okay.
appreciate it now.
Yeah. and Pete, would you have promoted anything outside of the UK for Jimmy C?
No. I think I may have given him some contacts, some of
Okay.
which he used and everything else. But no, I just did the southeast really. I mean, a lot of his London gigs were North London and the Broadstairs Blues Festival. But I put him on in the Beaverwood Club, which is Chislehurst. And I think we did Worcester Park, and we did. I think we did 3 or 4. Anyway, 3 or 4 different shows, venues with him. But the interesting thing was, as everybody said tonight, he got exactly the same response with all those different audiences, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, the one that always sticks in mind is the Torrington, which was North London, of course, in Finchley, and that was he did a late. He was depping for somebody at the very last minute, and the interesting thing about that place was people would only come out if they knew who the band was, really, and. If they didn't know the band, it was very, very difficult to. I mean, it was quite an expensive place to go. But anyway, he depped for Steve Marriott or somebody like that. I can't remember who it was now. And within 3 numbers, he had him. You know, I thought, well, I could bring him back any time now, really. But of course, he was. I think we're already booked up for the next year or so. But you know, fantastic. It's usual response that he got. But that was the most conservative small C audience I ever promoted to, and he got them, you know, 3 numbers in, and that was a measure of what he could do, you know.
Exactly. It goes a long way. You know, Steve, I heard a story about you having a business right near where Jimmy lived, and that was kind of a serendipitous situation. What was that about?
Yeah, well, it's quite odd because I was running some franchise, Tony Guy franchise. And we were in another town, and we went to a gig at the railway opposite Tony Guy in Crouch End. So I was singing there the night. I remember walking out, seeing a Tony guy there, and somehow it ended up coming my way. So in the end, I was living in the same town as Jimmy, which was wonderful. So we used to catch up a lot. We were both very busy guys, you know. So yeah, it was wonderful. It became our little place where we could have our talks as we did as kids.
Exactly.
You know, so it was lovely. It was lovely. It was a good chance for me to jam with Jimmy as well. Occasionally get up on stage with him, you know.
How fun was that?
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Definitely.
A lot of fun.
Well, you guys, I mean, what else can we say? You know,
Well,
it's,
I mean, something that everyone's been touching on somewhat is Jimmy's relationship with his locality in North London.
yes.
I mean, I met Jimmy originally, I think, back in the late '90s, mid '90s possibly, and I'm a North Londoner, and all my original gigs as a kid in the early '90s were bars around Islington, Crouch End, Finchley, Turnpike Lane, that kind of neighbourhood. And as long as I can remember, I mean, Jimmy was a fixture in the area. I mean, you could be going out with friends and stumbling into a bar, and where there was a band playing and there was a hip vibe going on, Jimmy would undoubtedly be the act who was playing, and you'd see him pretty much everywhere. So he became, you know, one of those guys in the community. I mean, he was really a community musician who was that friendly, smiling face in the community that people would recognise, and who inspired and cheered people locally. And that's, you know, obviously one big sad missing element of what we see from here on in is we don't get that big smiling face in the bars waiting to greet us when we're out causing trouble and raising hell on a Saturday night.
Definitely, guys.
But yeah, he was very much, you know, very much a North Londoner and very much a fixture in this neck of the woods.
And Dano, any few last words coming from you about our blues brother?
Yeah, I mean, my memories mainly are jamming with him, and you know, seen him so many times. Yeah, great loss. And one thing I just give thought to is the guys in his band. You know, we're here, so you know, anybody who's looking for gigs, give me a shout.
Okay, well done. And anyone, go ahead and put your 2 cents, like we say back in America, put your 2 cents in.
I guess Jimmy's gift was that he just loved to play, and that really was his gift to us. You know, he was very original, Jimmy. Since he was a little boy, he was always very original. He always stood out. So I was so happy to see that continue throughout his life. You know, and we'll keep it going. We'll keep it live now. I'm sure.
Definitely.
There's enough people around who still love him and want to keep his music going. So yeah, he'd be looking down, feeling pretty good right now.
Okay.
Hope he's not working too hard up there.
Speaking of little boys, that famous Jimmy C smile, which greeted every audience, and as people have already mentioned this evening, greeted everybody off stage as well. I mean, he was one of the smiliest people I've ever known. We saw that smile the other night after the funeral from Cosmas, his little boy, who has exactly the same smile.
Oh my God!
And he has exactly the same naughty grin and glint in his eye. And at some point in the future, I'm sure we're going to see Cosmas playing Daddy's guitars.
No, definitely.
Yes.
Well, speaking of the family, why don't we bring Jimmy's wife in, Aga, and then we'll play the video. Pardon me. We'll play the video afterwards. Let's introduce Aga first, and then we'll get onto the video. Hang on for 1 second, Patsy. Everyone, say hello to Aga, Jimmy's wife.
Hey.
Aga.
Hey, Aga.
Go ahead and watch it. Let's get your volume. Again, guys, sorry, we didn't do a sound check. So let's check your volume, Aga. Go ahead and speak. Let's see if you're on mic. There it is. Unmute your mic, Aga. That's all.
Okay, I think.
Gotcha.
Working. Oh, I'm surprised because Jimmy is definitely making sure we are playing music, not talking too much today. So, okay, but it works.
Aga, we thank you for allowing us to do this tribute show tonight, and we really appreciate everyone coming on. And we wanted to share with everyone a little bit of Jimmy. We've talked about Jimmy on stage. We want to share a little bit of his personality at home. Patsy, Can we get one of those videos of Jimmy playing in his house, maybe the 2-minute one there, and we can all share a little bit of what he was like on his personal level there. We can get that running first of all, and then we'll come back and have a little bit of a chat with Aga in just a second. Let me see, where is Patsy there? Okay, you got that video coming up, Patsy. There we go. Beautiful. Aga, do you remember what was going on that evening? How did that
Oh yes, I remember exactly, and it was when the lockdown started, and Jimmy bought himself a looper. It took him some weeks, I think, to decide which one, but I finally told him, just buy anyone, start playing, and if it's not good, you will get another one. So you can see him at the end of the video saying, I'm looping. It was cut short a bit, but it's how he was at home, and it's funny how we take the things for granted. I got used to listening to him every day playing. I work from home for many years now, and it's very, very quiet because it was every day I could hear the guitar basically all day long. Hardly ever I could record anything because for Jimmy it was never perfect. But at that time it was already, he knew he had cancer, so every now and then he was letting me to record something because he felt that probably for us as a family, talking about family, Cosmas is talking here to me, and I got Jimmy's sister with me as well.
Okay,
because,
hello, Jimmy's sister. Hello.
Cristola, you can show yourself from here.
Yeah, welcome to Live Talking Blues. Come on into the fold. You know. Hello. What's your name?
Priscilla.
Right, talking about how was Jimmy, very strong family relationship. As you can see, his sister is one of my best friends, and he's here with me. And Cosmas is talking about his daddy.
Yes.
So we all miss him very much, and he has been a lot of fun, like his songs. He was often laughing and smiling, not always. He also could get mad, which was keeping a nice balance.
Yes.
I think one thing about Jimmy was that he has been constantly working on getting better, not only as a musician, but as a family person, as a husband, as a father. I said it at the funeral. I was always impressed, much harder working than me. He was always trying to make everything right.
Yes.
Had a lot of crazy ideas, making our life really excited. It's hard to get into his shoes now, being mom and dad to Cosmas. Kind of, I can never give him the same amount of excitement as Jimmy, Cosmas used to cry daddy when he was in trouble, not mommy, because they really had strong bond together, playing football and also playing guitar, although Jimmy was not very keen on touching his instrument, so he was preparing for Cosmas his start set rather than Les Paul. And he also had, like, you know, with my daughter, Jimmy's stepdaughter Rahela, he also had a strong relationship. She had the benefit of having him for over 15 years in her life, while for Cosmas, we have to make sure that he remembers daddy forever. And
of course.
And Jimmy wanted to be remembered for his music, his big smile, and the way he was before it all started 2 years ago.
Yes.
Although he was a fighter, you know, I have to say, for someone who was diagnosed with cancer, going through Whipple surgery, which is a surgery which can kill you by itself. 6 weeks after, he was playing a gig. People are recovering 6 months, and he was on stage 6 weeks after. Started 6 months chemo and visited 6 countries playing gigs, coming to London literally for the chemotherapy and flying back. Never talking about it, never complaining. After half a year from the surgery, he had full calendar booked, like, you know, gigs for all year, and then we had lockdown. It of course changed the plans, and after cancer came back, the only positive thing about it was we were spending lots of time together, much more than we could, but it also meant that Jimmy couldn't play, and music was most important for him. It was his life. It was not a hobby. So it's the reason we created Blues Picnics, by the way.
Exactly.
And blues, to keep him, you know, playing and keep other musicians playing and keep the live music alive, because it was looking like, my God, you know, where to play, you know, where to go to have fun. And
that was during the first lockdown, was it? Where you did
yes, it was in I think June 2020, when I originally wanted to find and do like drive-in show for Jimmy, but it was looking like
drive-in
so
show. That's what we do in America. There's no cars going.
Like exactly. I thought, like, our friends got no cars. Who will come to the show? You know. and then we were walking next to St. Mary's Tower, and there was a small concert. And then I thought, wow, this is the right location, because before I was contacting local parks, I was emailing to the council. Of course, it was lockdown, so nobody was working.
Yeah.
So it was going nowhere. And then Paul Soper helped me to find the contact details to Chris, who is in charge of the park. And within, I think, 2 weeks, we did the first Blues Picnic. And then spontaneously, I took my mobile and I started streaming it on Facebook. I never did before. And it became really successful.
Yes. Paul, who you knew some contacts over at St. Mary's Towers? Yeah. Oh, we still got Paul on the mute.
Paul's still muffled.
Yeah, he's still muffled. That's quite all right. Anka, could you please tell us for the future, where is St. Mary's Towers? Is in Crouch Inn?
Yes, St. Mary's Tower is in Hornsey. It can be found pretty easily if someone Googles it. And Chris Arnold is responsible for it. It's called the Intimate Spaces, because there are also, before lockdown, it was possible to have small events inside the tower. It's a beautiful place, very historic, and all the place around the park belongs to the church. It's cemetery, and Jimmy wrote a song about one of the people who got a grave there, American slave, and a beautiful song, but the only recording I got is on my mobile, and I hope that with Jimmy's friends we will maybe make something and maybe play it during the tribute in August.
That sounds like a great idea. That sounds like a great idea. I love to hear that song, because I'm a descendant of one of the American slaves, so
this was he became free at the end, and it's the reason he got a grave there, as I think the only person of color. And Jimmy was really moved by the story. He loved history, and while walking around, he found out this grave, and he did his researches, and then he wrote a song about it.
Now,
it was.
Jimmy played for 45 years. That's how long his career was, is it?
Yes, since he started as a teenager. If Steve maybe could tell more about his first bands, but Also, Jimmy was guitarist first of all, and he played with different bands. But when I spoke to Jimmy, he told me that he decided to start singing to be independent, because he said, if you've got a band, you always rely and depend on other people. Sometimes they can, sometimes they cannot. Sometimes they decide not to play music anymore. Bands are often having conflicts, and so he decided, okay, I will sing, because if I'm singer and guitarist, in worst case, I can go solo. And then he built up around it. Yeah, I say in worst case because he definitely preferred to be in a band, and he was guitarist first of all.
Yeah.
You remember that, Steve?
Yes. Yeah, I think Jimmy was always sang. From a little boy, he was singing. Yeah, I was the main singer, but he still sang.
Yeah.
But he never
and he had a
felt.
very, he always had a very natural sounding voice, though. It kind of grew on you. So it was an interesting voice, Jimmy. Yeah, very unique.
Absolutely.
And I think it suited his music really well in the end. You know, I think he was the best one singing his own songs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The way he delivered them, you know, it was special.
Well, you know
Also,
what,
I think it was lucky that his voice was unique, which means whoever saw Jimmy once or heard him would remember him and recognize him again. Not many people are so lucky, and he was always saying, "Yeah, I am lucky person. I'm lucky person." You know? And I think it's there is we have been extremely lucky, and until 2 years ago we had everything. You know, it's. And you know, everything in the meaning, everything. You are just happy. You know?
That's it.
And,
I love that you had
Beautiful.
everything. That not too many people can say that. That's for sure.
And it's how we felt. It's genuine.
Yeah. Well, let's have another look at another video. Patsy, what you gonna play next for us, so we can share some more of Jimmy's work? What have we got there? Go ahead and put something on for us, because I have a list of things and I get lost. A little more volume.
Oh, baby, now I'm smoking, drinking gin. I'm smoking, drinking gin. You throw me in a shape I'm a man. I'm smoking, drinking gin. I'm an old good lazy son of a gun. Baby, whole lot of fun. 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 But I'm an old good lazy son of a gun. Baby, whole lot of fun. Let's go. Oh, baby, now drink your bourbon all night long. Drink your bourbon all night long. Makes me wanna sing this song. Drink your bourbon all night long. Well, I'm an old good lazy son of a gun. Ooh, baby, whole lot of fun. 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 Well, I'm an old good lazy son of a gun. Ooh, baby, whole lot of fun. 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 Well, I'm an old good lazy son of a gun. Baby, whole lot of fun.
A whole lot of fun. Definitely a whole lot of fun, wasn't it? That's what life should be about, you know? Absolutely, Pete, a whole lot of fun. Listen, and so I have, you guys were together for quite a long time, and you watched his music develop and twist and turn. You saw some of the songs he wrote, and what song do you just stands out in memory most, or is it the most recent one that we experienced earlier on this show that I'd love to hear again?
Yeah, first of all, I met Jimmy because of his music. So I fall in love with the music before falling in love with Jimmy. So I have been his fan before I became his partner, and after 10 years later, his wife. We have been together 15 years, but Jimmy already had 45 years of life and career behind him. From the are important for me. Is definitely Still Be Loving You. It's the song I chose as his goodbye song in the church because I think this song is exceptional. And second thing is Everything You Want, You Got It, because the song was about us. It's basically, we made a plan, and we stuck to the plan. So we got driving licenses, car, we got engaged, married, we had a baby, all within the 5-year plan which we made, and the song was at the beginning before we started, and it always makes me very emotional because we were it was, the plan was simply coming through. Within shorter period of time than we thought, because when Jimmy told me, okay, let's wait 5 years, I looked at him, are you joking? You know how old I am? It's, I think 5 years a bit too long to start, and then he decided, okay, we start now, so we will have it within 5 years, and we did within 3. And if the cancer didn't stop us, probably we would have the second baby or third child, including my daughter as well. But it was not meant to be life.
This is
went different way. This was the plan. Yeah.
I'll Still Be Loving You. I think that's a 7-minute video. We may not listen to the whole thing, but let's get a little bit of that in because we're going to be rounding up very shortly. And we go over an hour, just about how long we carry the show on for. But let's have a look at this. I'll Still Be Loving You. We won't let the whole thing play, Patsy. Just give it, 4 minutes or so.
Just a minute.
And then we'll a little more volume. Great.
I'll still be loving you for the rest of my life. I'll still be loving you until I die. Hey, yeah. What's a poor man gonna do? was so bad.
Yes. Some great players, some great players, some great saxophonists as well. Who are the saxophonists that you use when you're not, who are the other saxophonists? Hello.
No. Hi, Kat. I don't know who is whom you want to answer, but
Yes.
there was Antonio Campbell, and apart from it, Jimmy had two saxophonists, Dave and Albie, and in the last blues picnics we had 3 saxes, and I think it was making the band really unique. Whoever is looking at the recordings, because there are not many blues bands which are playing with 3 saxophone players at the same time, and it was actually very, very exciting to see them working together.
Very, very powerful, don't you think, Paul? That was very, very very strong lineup when you. Oh, I keep forgetting.
Paul, we are
about
still
that.
muted.
Yeah, you're still muted, Paul. I'm so sorry. Todd, did you play with any of the saxophonists with Jimmy C?
I did indeed. Strangely, Albie. Albie was on my very first album, "Touch of Your Love," on Red Lightning Records back in 1993, and used to tour with me quite prolifically around those days. And it was a real surprise to see him playing years later with Jimmy. And we'd lost touch over the years, and it was great reconnecting with him again. And it was all thanks to Jimmy.
Yes. Well, that was the thing. He was a great communicator with the people. I remember the time. I think was that Paul. You and I played together at Ain't Nothing But. I flew in from Spain and we won't get you to probably answer that, Paul, because you're muted. Let me see. Go ahead and try to speak, Paul. No, it's not working, Paul. Sorry, darling. But I flew in from Spain, and Aga was saying to me that Jimmy wanted to play fresh, and everyone was saying he never wanted to rehearse. So I flew in from Spain, being a typical Virgo that has to have everything in like A, B, C, like that. And to know that no one actually had rehearsed the songs off the CD. But you know what? We played a 3-hour, because they back in the day used to do a 3-hour set and Ain't Nothing But. We did a 3-hour set with no problem, didn't we, Paul? Paul's doing thumbs up. We did a 3-hour set at Ain't Nothing But without any rehearsals. And that's pure fun. Definitely pure fun.
One way of putting it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we also played in Scotland together as well. And I believe we played, I think, did Jimmy C ever come over to Spain?
Yes, he did. He did.
I thought so.
Yeah. I think it, oh my goodness, 2011. There is one video of him. I'm not sure. I would have to ask Kevin from Anything But Blues Bar, but I think some time ago, definitely, about 10 years.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah,
and he
Kevin
loved
did.
it.
For
Jimmy, he always liked to keep balance between like local gigs, because he really respected being local and local support. And he always said, sometimes you don't need to travel and try to conquer all the world. If you first try to get enough friends and fans around you, because these are the people who really matter. But he also loved to travel once a month. He was usually going for short tours, like 2-3 gigs, ideal for him was like 1 weekend per month, doing 2-3 gigs and coming back. And this was his style. And there's one thing which probably not many people mention about how he was playing. He believed in a rule that if the songs are longer than 3 minutes, people will get bored. So apart from the long songs he wrote, like the slow ones, like Still Be Loving You, or Everybody Gets the Blues, he kept his songs really short, and he never was doing any talking between them. So it was just flowing. Everyone was dancing, and depends if people were dancing or melancholic, he was changing what he was going to play next. And you know, this was what made me, like, you know, it amazed me, because the shows were so organic and so full of energy, and respecting the public and adapting to them, that it was like watching him. I was always, when friends were coming to talk to me at Jimmy's gigs, I was always like, oh my goodness, I came here to listen to him, not to chit chat. We can chit chat after, you know, leave me alone. I want to dance and listen, you know. It's
to the music, yeah.
Yes,
definitely.
yes. Yes, and he was never scared of being like overshined by someone. He was inviting people to stage, giving them the best spotlight, supporting them. If he knew them or not, doesn't matter. He was very open for everyone to join the band on stage, which I also think not many people do, because you don't know what to expect if you don't know them. But he knew that it doesn't matter who they are, he will always be able to do a good show, even if the musicians were not necessarily at the same level. He was very supportive.
He was he always gave a lot and always communicated, and that's what it is. It's about the communication when you're on stage as musicians, isn't it? I mean, you know, sometimes you may not even know the song, but the old blues greats, if you think back in the day, they just got up and played, and they played from their soul as well, and that's
like, listen,
what's great.
If you watch his videos, how he was playing, you can see that he's constantly looking not only at the audience, but at all his musicians, making sure that they know what is going on, helping them to find the key if needed, because, you know, nobody knew what was going to be next. And he was able to find a way in every situation. You know, his strings breaking, he would just change them on stage, you know, while playing, you know.
Check this video out, Aga. This is one that a true Jimmy's video. Have a look at this one. You got anything you want. You got anything you want. You got anything you want. You got it. You got it. And you're gonna get it if you come down to see me. That's an absolutely brilliant video to start to wrap up and thank everyone for coming on the show. Aga, you got any last messages, any last words you want to share with everybody?
I probably, please keep remembering Jimmy. Keep remembering his music, because this is he knew his time here was over. The only thing he really wanted was to live longer, but he couldn't. But he definitely wanted to be remembered for his music, which was his life, and for his big smile. And he would be extremely happy knowing that people remember him, want to play his song, that we have fun, because for him life was party time, you know. So let's make picnic time, let's make Jimmy's time. Someone at the funeral said, like, you know, I can hear Jimmy saying funeral time. You know, he was lots of fun, and I'm sure he would have laughed with us as well. And as sad as it is that Jimmy has left us, he left a strong legacy. So, you know, if his music lives forever, he will be very happy about it, and he will tell us about it one day when we join him. But he would tell straight away, hopefully not too soon. Don't rush.
No. There's no rush. I mean, we've heard Everybody Gets the Blues sung by Todd, and I don't think we should play that video. But what we can do is put everybody back on the big screen there, Patsy, and then we'll get a final hello and goodbye from everyone. And I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming on and sharing this beautiful moment. And without a sound check, I think we did a very good job at getting this together. And you guys, I commend you, definitely. So listen, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you on August 14th. And that's Aga. They can get more information. Is it bluesdragons.com? What's that website?
The website is www.bluesdragons.com, but there is a Jimmy's Facebook, which is now in his memory. So whoever wants to contact me, please get in touch via Messenger on Facebook or via my email address, which I have put in the chat, and we will take it from there. You definitely will find me, and we will make it happen. The 14th of August is going to be a beautiful day. Even if it's raining, because all Jimmy's shows always have rain. Take umbrella, take rain poncho, we will make it work anyway.
We will definitely make it work. Everybody, let's say hello to Patsy, our producer, who's been running it from behind the scenes. Patsy! Thank you so much, Patsy. We really appreciate everything you've done tonight. And any technical hitches, we apologize for that, but we're good to go. So everybody, goodbye. Patsy, you can take us home.